In the battle against climate change, denial is an exasperating foe. Dr. Mark Guishard says it's like not believing in gravity. Denying it does not make it go away. Dr. Guishard, who has just published part 2 of a major climate change report, is concerned about stronger, more frequent hurricanes, larger rainfall extremes, and rising temperatures and sea levels, which lead to dangerous flooding in low-lying areas. We asked Dr. Guishard, who works at the Airport Authority and is an adjunct bioscientist, what keeps him up at night.
One of the things that continually comes up is sea level rise, and how some of the extreme events that we have seen in recent years, for example, the sort of iconic image of the King Square in St. George's underwater, is that's an extreme event. That in of itself is not climate change, but those types of events are sort of a glimpse into what might be coming in as soon as the next couple of decades. Seeing that there may very well be these more frequent coastal inundation events happening, and as the sea level creeps up, there will gradually be more and more instances where large parts of sort of important parts of Bermuda will be underwater. Our UNESCO World Heritage Site in St. George's, some beaches, of course, that are fairly shallow will sort of start to be much more impacted. Parts of the shoreline surrounding the airport, for example. Now, this isn't to say that Bermuda is going to be underwater anytime soon, but it does mean that we have to really think about what those impacts might be going forward in the next few decades.
Although Bermuda's response to storms is well managed, stronger, more frequent storms will put us to the test.
Had you asked me about 15 years ago, are we likely to get a Category 4 storm near Bermuda? I would have said it's not a very likely scenario because the ocean near us, this far north, is fairly cool relative to the Caribbean, for example. And we haven't seen many of them in the record near Bermuda. Now, if you ask me, the answer is yes, we are more likely to see a Category 4 storm soon in the coming years.
Although most people understand the urgency at hand, skeptics still exist. We asked Dr. Guishard if he feels that there is enough support on island to make the necessary changes.
People are sort of internalizing, if you will, the notion that, risk is gradually increasing over time. These heavy rainfall events, anyone that rides a bike knows that we're certainly seeing some heavy, intense downbursts, perhaps more frequently and more in a more impactful way than we have in the past. So I do believe that there's a bit more recognition these days that there are changes happening. To those that don't have a good appreciation for some of those changes or don't really believe that there are changes that are beyond the cyclical, I think it's safe to say there's a vast body of evidence, scientific and otherwise, to support these conclusions that yes, the climate is changing. And whether or not you believe it, anyone that asks me, do you believe in climate change? I say, well, do you believe in gravity? It doesn't matter whether or not you do. It's there. It's a fact.
Dianne Brewer reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.